Billionaires in Asia live just as extravagantly as the likes of Jay-Z, Jeff Bezos, or the Queen. Just wait until you see the world's most expensive wedding. Mukesh Ambani is one of the most prominent figures in India and the entire world. His company Reliance Industries has earned him $92.6 billion, which makes him one of the wealthiest people on Earth. So what do you spend almost $100 billion on? I think it might be easier to ask what you don't spend it on. Without a doubt, the best acquisition his family has made is Antilia, the 27-story skyscraper that stretches out 568 feet. It has a unique architecture which almost looks like a giant maze. Many of the ceilings are double or even triple the height, which doesn't feel like a normal skyscraper of this size. The 27 stories are divided into 6 sections that are supposed to represent earth, water, fire, air, and sound. This makes the home not only one of the most luxurious homes in the world, but also a symbol of the paths of enlightenment. This monument to the Ambani family allegedly cost $1 billion to build. Their home includes multiple helipads, a 3-floor garden, swimming pools, and elegant ballrooms. That's not all though, because it also features a huge garage, a dance studio, a gym, a movie theater, multiple dining areas, multiple kitchen, you know what? Everything. This home has everything. Despite the fact that it's basically a private hotel, this home only has 6 residents. For those 6 people, there are 600 full-time staff members. It's also the second most expensive home in the world, right behind Buckingham Palace, which is worth $5 billion. It also shouldn't surprise you that the family has a fleet of luxury cars. These include a Mercedes Maybach 660 Guard worth $1.5 million, a BMW 760 Lee worth $45,000, a Bentley Continental Flying Spur for nearly $200,000, and a Rolls-Royce Phantom worth $455,000. Each of them are not only luxury rides, but they are all armored and bulletproof. The Ambanis may love one thing more than giant buildings and luxury cars though: cricket. They love the sport so much that they dropped $111.9 million on the Mumbai Indians. I would say this was a good acquisition considering the fact that they won titles in 2013, 2015, 2017, 2019, and 2020. That's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. They've also got $54,000 custom lipstick, $200,000 tea sets, a private jet worth $73 mil, an $80 million yacht, and on and on. Basically, if the Ambanis aren't the most extravagant family in the world, then they are definitely in the top 10. That's just how they live, though. Not even how they party. Weddings are usually pretty expensive, despite your best intentions. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are like 30 reality TV shows about it. There's an expensive wedding, and then there's the wedding of Isha Ambani and Anand Puramal, which cost $100 million. It's no surprise that this wedding doubled the average $50 million bill for a royal wedding in Great Britain. This wedding merged 2 of the most high-profile Indian families. On the bride's side is Mukesh Ambani. You remember that he's the 10th richest man in the world, worth $92.6 billion. On the other end of the aisle is Ajay Puramal, worth $4.8 billion. The festivities lasted for several days and took over several different locations, including India's romantic city of lakes, Udaipur. The ceremony itself was featured in the iconic skyscraping 27-story Ambani residence in Mumbai, because why wouldn't you when you have a house like that? The guest list included the likes of Hillary Clinton, Priyanka Chopra, Nick Jonas, and plenty of Indian celebrities and politicians. It was such an extensive guest list that 5 luxury Mumbai hotels had to be used to put them all up. Perhaps the most impressive flex the wedding featured was a private concert by Beyonce, who looked amazing, by the way. You gotta drop at least $2 million to get something like that. Other big activities included 100 flights chartered for the guests, sentimental pop-up musical invitations, and tributes to both bride and groom's grandparents. The guests had to have a special app to guide them through all of the cool things to do here. It wasn't all decadence and partying though. The wedding party also donated enough food to feed 5,100 people for 4 days. That's especially kind when you see the food from the high-end catering company Food Link. Now I'm mad I didn't get an invite. Princes of Saudi Arabia have gotten quite the reputation for spending unbelievable sums of money on extravagant things. For starters, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal has one of the most glaringly expensive cars in the world. His Mercedes SL 600 is covered in 3 300,000 diamonds worth $4.8 million. It took 13 experts 2 weeks to get this done. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is building a massive resort island near Jeddah. He had 1 square kilometer of grounds cleared to design this gorgeous flower-shaped property. He'll likely travel there on one of the largest private yachts in the world. Serene is a 133.9 meter ship worth $500 million. It has pretty much everything you'd expect, from swimming pools, luxury bedrooms, a piano bar, a gym, and all the space money can buy. Speaking of extravagant travel, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal has perhaps the most famous Boeing 747 in the world. It has a completely customized golden interior with its own throne. These planes cost $386 million, and it's been rumored that the customization may have cost another $300 million. Team Gallic built what might be my favorite car of all time. The team includes 2 Saudi Arabian princes and possibly 2 of the biggest Batman fans in the world. They dropped $1.3 million to recreate the Batmobile from Arkham Knight. Inside the carbon fiber Batmobile shell is a Lamborghini V10 engine. I'm a little afraid to ask if it has a tank mode. Tetsumi Shinchi is one of the most illustrious CEOs in Japan, though I think he'd much rather be known for his car collection. He even showcased his collection of 30 of the rarest supercars in the world during his Mega Supercar Motor Show. In order to make this show as cool as possible, he purchased not 1, not 2, but 6 supercars in 1 month. He was more than pleased to announce that he'd purchased Japan's first 3,000 horsepower Deval 16. This car can fly at speeds of 348 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of only 1.8 seconds. Getting the keys for one of these babies cost him $1.6 million. His supercar spinning spree also includes the Finner Supersport Launch Editions. It has a top speed of 250 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds. Only 10 were made, and he bought 5 of them. Just one of these cars can go for $1.4 million. So buying 5 would mean that he dropped around $7 million at once. That is how you keep a car exclusive. I'm sorry, Jamie Foxx, Jay-Z, and Kanye, but this is the most boss car purchase I've ever seen. Taking a trip to Italy or Paris or even Disney World is for 20th century rich people. In the 21st century, are you even rich if you don't book a flight into space? Yusaku Maezawa is a fashion tycoon worth $1.9 billion. Today, he's known for founding some of the most successful fashion companies in Japan. 10 years from now, he'll be known for taking one giant leap for billionaires everywhere. This began with his trip to the International Space Station. On December 8th of 2021, he became the first tourist in 10 years to visit the ISS. He's shown everything from the flight. That includes the docking and the waste elimination on his YouTube channel. He also plans on playing a round of golf in space, so look out for that video. This is a huge flex on the likes of Jeff Bezos, William Shatner, and Richard Branson, who only left the atmosphere like a bunch of wimps. Not only that, but he was also the first person to book a lunar flight from SpaceX. In 2023 at the earliest, he should be taking a flight out of the atmosphere and around the moon before dropping back to Earth. There's no telling how much this ticket cost him, considering the fact that a ticket to just get to the International Space Station costs $55 million. I'd say that this was more. Also, considering the fact that this flight will pass the ISS, do a lunar orbit, then land back on our planet, I'm gonna guess it's at least $56 million. There's a pretty solid chance that his 2023 flight might end up getting delayed. He's supposed to embark on the reusable spacecraft known as Starship, but so far most of the test flights have not gone well. It did manage to successfully land in 2021, but that doesn't mean it's ready to go to the moon and back. Unless he doesn't mind rocketing back to Earth in a fiery explosion, he might want to book a 2024 flight instead. We know all about the richest man in India. What about China? Zhang Shanshan is about as far away from the Ambani family as humanly possible. He is known by many names: the Lone Wolf, the Bottled Water King, and the richest man in China. He is worth $73.5 billion, and part of that may be that he really doesn't spend it on much of anything. He's not into politics, fine houses, an extravagant car collection, or anything in the public eye. In interviews, he loves to talk about how little he cares for other people, their opinions, or sharing anything about himself. So, is this how all Chinese billionaires are? For the most part, Chinese billionaires seem to be the most conservative spenders in the world. They still have their passions, though. For instance, Li Yuqian was a taxi driver, but now he's an investor worth $1.37 billion. He has a very serious problem with art collecting. This man has dropped over $35 million for a 500-year-old chicken cup. Strangely enough, he paid for it using his American Express Centurion card. This earned him him 422 million reward points. He also purchased a silk tapestry for over 45 million, but I'm not sure how many Amex points he got for it. Ma Huatin, or by his nickname Pony Ma, is known for apps like Tencent, which owns stakes in Tesla, Snapchat, and Spotify. He's also worth 65.8 billion. Like Elon Musk, he has a space obsession. He's invested millions in startups like Moon Express, Satellogic, and Planetary Resources. Basically, this guy wants to mine asteroids and the moon. Anyone want to bet he's a fan of The Expanse? The rich and wealthy of China also purchased things like a Tibetan Mastiff, which is a dog breed worth $2 million. Then there's the most expensive car in China, the Hongqi S9, worth $1.4 million. Then there's the golden piano with 40 layers of wood and crystallized gold in it, worth $1.6 million. So even the thriftiest billionaires in the world are still spending like crazy. The movie Crazy Rich Asians painted quite the picture of what it was like for the wealthy of Singapore. How much of that was true? There is nothing more prestigious in Singapore than owning land, so building a large house is as big a deal as possible. Lim Hock Leng is the owner of Singapore's third biggest supermarket chain. This has earned him a reported $1.2 billion. He has decided to spend this on a lavish $50 million home that would fit right in with Crazy Rich Asians. The front of the home, with its simple modern look, paints the picture of a pretty conservative property. Further inside, you see that that's far from the case. The back of the home shows off its size a bit more. There are several stepped terraces with plenty of greenery. If you look at it from the side, you'll see the home's ramp-like architecture that earns it the title of the Hidden House. The home stretches out 33,000 feet, which is a much bigger flex in a small country like Singapore than you'd think. Inside is nothing but opulence around every corner. Huge couches, chandeliers, enormous television, and greenery along the walls make for one of the most coveted bungalows in the country. Apparently, this is supposed to be a minimalist luxury experience. Yeah, I guess I have a different definition of what minimalist means. There are at least 6 huge bedrooms to contain the entire family. Each has been specially designed. The house also has a 98-foot swimming pool that extends from inside the house to outside. It has a gorgeously lit winding staircase that is designed to glow in the night. Nothing minimalist about a 98-foot swimming pool with professional lighting. The amenities include a fitness center, a sauna, a squash court, a pool table, and the nicest home theater I've ever seen with 14 seats. He literally told the architects, "This is a home for my neighbors, not for me." That's not even the most impressive GCB, or good class bungalow, you can find. Recently, a $63 million castle became famous on the internet for its sheer majesty. It sits on 26,642 square feet of land, which we've covered is as big a flex in Singapore as possible. It contains a 20-meter lap pool as well as a basement that can fit 20 cars and has its own car lift. Calling it a modern home is really a disservice to its design choice, though. It was built to emulate the ancient capital of the Tang Dynasty. There are ancient relics built throughout the home and even a private museum located in the basement. The master bedroom definitely resembles a more modern home, though. It has 3 different living sections, which include a private spa and a 2-story walk-in wardrobe. Finally, we have the socialite billionaires. These are the ones that are all too happy to share their lavish lifestyles on Instagram. These are the influencers of S4, as the cool kids apparently call it. Peter Lim is a private investor and the 10th richest person in Singapore with a reported net worth of $2.5 billion. He was the son of a fishmonger and slowly built his fortune over decades of hard work. He lives with his wife and mother in a private 11-story condo just to themselves that's apparently worth $100 million. As far as his passions go, he is a huge fan of football. So much so that he purchased the Valencia Football Club for $61 million. Though really, it's his kids who get all the attention. His son, Kane Lim, saw Crazy Rich Asians and he said a lot of it is pretty accurate. Apparently his life is full of private jets, shopping sprees to Vegas, and more. He even identified with Gemma Chan's character in the film. Apparently it's pretty common for him to walk into a designer shoe store and buy literally everything they've got in every color. Kim Lim is also known for that kind of extravagant living. She is always seen wearing designer clothes. She will frequently show off the designer bags that she carries around, which are worth thousands. She even had football star Cristiano Ronaldo flown in to visit her during the birth of her first child. Meeting a football superstar on the first day of his life set the tone for what the rest of this baby's life was going to be like. For instance, Kim threw her son a massive 99th day party, literally 99 days after he was born. It was a huge celebration with some of the family's most famous friends at the Ritz-Carlton. The lavish party featured a slew of cakes, giant decorations, and plenty of Instagrammable moments. That's good, because after only 99 days, I don't really think he's going to remember any of this. It is worth saying that Asia holds the world record with 1,149 billionaires. The fact that it also holds the world record as the largest continent probably has nothing to do with that.